Alright, so here in this video, we're going to look at the first homologous series, which is the alkane. Alright, so it's very important that you should know that the alkane is the simplest, homologous series. Alright, the alkane is the simplest homologous series. You can be asked in an exam, what is the simplest homologous series? It is the alkane, right? So what is an alkane? An alkane is a homologous series or a family of saturated hydrocarbons. It is a family of saturated hydrocarbons with the general molecular formula of CnH2n plus 2. Alright? So if I ask you what is an alkane, you simply tell me that an alkane is a family or a homologous series of saturated hydrocarbons with the general molecular formula of CnH2n plus 2. So there are two main things in this definition. First, it is a family of saturated hydrocarbons, right? And they have the general molecular formula of what? CnH2n plus 2. So what is a saturated hydrocarbon? Well, first of all, what is a hydrocarbon? A hydrocarbon is a compound of carbon and hydrogen. All right, it is a compound of carbon and hydrogen. So a saturated hydrocarbon is a compound or is an organic compound that contains only single bonds. That is why it is saturated. All right, contains only single bond. An example is what? Methane, CH4. So the structure of methane is like this. This is hydrogen, this is hydrogen, this is hydrogen, and this is hydrogen. All right, this is methane. So it contains only single bond. And this compound is a compound of carbon and hydrogen. That is why it is called a saturated hydrocarbon. All right. So the alkane, again, is a homologous series or a family of saturated hydrocarbon with the general molecular formula of CnH2n plus 2. So this is the general molecular formula. You must know this always. All right. What is the general molecular formula of the alkane? CnH2n plus 2. It is very important that you should know that alkane is also known as what? Paraffins. So the alkanes, they are also referred to as what? Paraffins. This is also very important. You can be asked in an exam, which of the following is a paraffin? In other words, which of the following is an alkane? Alright? Then it's very important to know that alkane contain only what? Single bonds. And that is why they are saturated hydrocarbons. Also, you should know that all the members of the alkane series will end with ane. Alright, so when we have things like methane, it ends with what? ANE. ANE. Ethane, ANE. Alright, it will end with ANE. Propane, propane, it will end with what? ANE. Butane, it ends with what? ANE. So all the members of the alkane series, they end with what? ANE. Alright, so it's very important also to know that the alkane are not very reactive. Alright, however, they can undergo two main reactions, which is the combustion reaction and what? The substitution reaction. So you can be asked in an exam, what kind of reaction can alkane undergo? So there are two main reactions they can undergo. They can undergo a combustion reaction or what? A substitution reaction. So next, we are going to look at the members of the alkane series from number 1 to 20. Alright, so it is very important that you should know that the first 4 members are gases. They are gas. Alright, methane is a gas, ethane is a gas, propane is a gas, butane is a gas. Alright, your butane is your cooking gas. Very important. Then from pentane, which is the 5th member, down to the 15th member, which is pentadecane, are what? Are liquid. So all these are liquid. They are liquids. These are also what? Liquids. So from the 5th member, which is pentane, down to the 15th member, which is pentadecane, are what? Liquid. Then from the 16th member, which is hexadecane, to the 20th member, which is ecosane, are solid. Alright, So it is very important that you should know this. From number 1 to 4 are gases, from 5 to 15 are liquid, from 16 to 20 and downwards to 100 to 1000 and so on and so forth, they are what? They are solids. All right. So as you move down the group, the physical property in terms of their melting and their boiling point is going to what? Increase. All right. So let's look at this question. The following alkanes has the highest boiling point. The following alkanes has the highest boiling point. So which of them will have the highest boiling point? So you should know that in the alkane series, some are gases, some are liquid, and some are what? Solid. So it's very important that you should know that as the number of carbon increases, the boiling point is going to increase. All right? As the number of carbon increases, the boiling point is going to increase. So if you look at this, the highest member here is what? Pentane. Pentane is the fifth member. All right. Ethane is the second member. Propane is the third member. Methane is the first member. All right. So methane has just one carbon. Propane has three carbon. Ethane has two carbon, and pentane has what? Five carbon. So the one that will have the highest boiling point will be the one with what? Five carbon. So the answer to this question is what? Pentane. Pentane will be the one that will have the highest boiling point. All right. It's very important that you should know that this is a JAM question from 2007. Then let's look at this question.